Hello everyone. So today we will be continuing with the production technology of banana. So last class we were discussing about the different cultivar groups. So out of that one has been missed out, that is AAB group, and in the AAB group there are four subgroups, that is Mysore subgroup, silk subgroup, palm subgroup and plantain subgroup. So we will see each one by one. So first one is Mysore subgroup. So the good example is Mysore Puvan. It has got various other names like Palankodan, Chini Champa, Alpan. That is called in northeast regions, and Karpura Chakrakele in Andhra Pradesh. And the peculiarity of these Mysore Povan is that pseudostem is tall, vigorous and hardy, and this is suitable for rattan cropping, and it is also used as an intercrop in arecanut plantations. Then another peculiarity is that the midrib will be having from the outside rose pink coloration, and bunches are heavy and the bunches will be closely packed, and the fingers will be hanging vertically down, and the size is small to medium, and the skin will be thick, and it has got the characteristic acidic taste, not acidic taste. The taste will be sour in taste, which is due to the acidic nature. And coming to the resistance, it is resistant to Panama wilt and tolerant to bunchy top, but it is highly susceptible to banana bract mosaic virus and also banana streak virus. So the next subgroup is silk subgroup, and the variety coming under silk subgroup is Rastali. It is also termed as Amrutpani, Malbog, Rasabale, etc. So it is a choice table variety and having high market value. The plants are tall. The plants are tall, yellowish green, stem with brownish blotch. Fruits will be of medium size and the skin is thin color, and the fruit color will be ivory yellow when ripe, and the flesh is firm, sweet, and the bunch weight will be 12 to 15 kilogram. And the disadvantage with this rastali is that it is a long duration crop and severely susceptible to fusarium wilt, and there will be easy dropping of the fruits from the bunch. And then the disadvantage is that sometimes in the fruit hard lumps are seen, and it is also susceptible to sun injury. So the next subgroup coming under AAB group is palm subgroup. Hill banana comes under the palm subgroup. It is also termed as Virupakshi, Malai Vara, Sirumalai ecotype, Vellavazhai, etc. And this is having high keeping quality, and it has the unique aroma and taste. The coming to the characteristics of plant is strong, tall and sturdy. Skin of the fruits are thick. Fruit color is yellow. Average bunch weight is 12 kg with 80 to 90 fingers per bunch, and it has got a long duration of 14 months, and it is mainly grown in the Palani hills of Tamil Nadu. So the next subgroup is plantain subgroup. So plantain bananas means plantain bananas will be having more starch compared to the desert bananas, and less sugars compared to desert bananas. And it is having three main types, that is French plantain, horn plantains and false horn plantains. So in the category of French plantain, it will be having both male and female flowers, and the fruits will be smaller in size. When coming to the horn plantain, it is characterized by presence of very large fruits, and fruits will be horn like, and maximum there will be 5 hands, and rarely it is reported to have 8 hands, but most common is 1 to 5 hands. And in the case of horn plantains, the rachis will be ending soon after the last hand is produced. So here no male bud is produced in the case of horn plantain. Then next is false horn plantains. So false horn plantains are referred to horn type plantains, but it will be having restricted number of neutral flowers and the male bud will be degenerating at maturity. So French plantain will have both male and female flowers and the fruits will be smaller in size, and horn plantains the fruits will be bigger and it will be more like horns and there will be maximum 1 to 5 hands, and the rachis will be ending after the last hand has been produced. So there will be no male bud, there is no male bud produced in horn plantains. But in the case of false horn plantains, there will be fruits will be large in size, but there will be some number of neutral flowers and the male bud will be degenerating at maturity. And the example for French plantain is nendran, and horn plantain example is Zanzibar, and false horn plantain example is Bigabanga. So French plantain example is nendran, horn plantain Zanzibar, and false horn plantain Bigabanga. So nendran is commonly called as etakai. It is a popular plantain in the world and it is a dual purpose variety, that is it can be used for cooking as well as dessert purpose. It has good keeping quality and the bunch weight will be 10 to 15 kilogram, and it is also suitable for chips making. And this nendran is susceptible to bungee top and banana bract mosaic virus. So next, coming to the climate and soil requirements, it is a humid tropical crop, but it can be grown in semi-arid and also subtropical conditions up to 2000 meter above mean sea level. But good growth is observed only up to 1000 meter above mean sea level. Exception is hill banana, where the cultivation is restricted to higher altitudes. And temperature range of 25 to 35 degrees Celsius is ideal, and below 10 degrees Celsius if the temperature goes below 10 degrees Celsius, the leaf petioles, inflorescence, etc. will be finding it difficult to emerge out of the pseudostem, and the internodes will be becoming shorter, and there will be a condition of rosette and compact condition that is termed as chalk throat. This is a major problem in higher altitude area. And also in cool temperature, the crop will have longer duration and also the bunches will be small. So chalk throat is a physiological disorder, or it can be it occur due to the low temperature. So if the temperature goes below 10 degrees Celsius, the emergence of leaf petioles and the bunch emergence or the inflorescence, the emergence of inflorescence from the pseudostem will be slow and also the internodes become shorter. So this condition is termed as chalk throat. Rainfall requirement 100 to 325 millimeter per annum. And in the tropical conditions, when we give 50% shade, it tend to give more yield. But in the subtropical conditions, if there is shading, the yield will be reducing. And the speed of wind more than 50 kilometer damages the crop. So for tall varieties, propping can be given, and also according to the season, we can have the plan the bunch emergence time with the wind speed, and also we can plan accordingly and do the planting so that bunch emergence does not happen during the high wind season. Then soil, deep, well drained soil with good organic matter. Optimum pH is 6.5 to 7.5, but it is also grown in a pH of 5.5 to 8.5, but with suitable soil amendments. And the alkaline soils have the ability to reduce wilt disease. Then propagation is done through suckers, rhizomes, and also tissue culture plants. So suckers, coming to the suckers, there are two types of suckers coming out of the plant, that is salt sucker and water sucker. Salt sucker, here you can see, in the case of salt sucker, it will be having well developed base and the leaves will be conical and also sword shaped. It will be weighing about 1.5 to 2 kilogram. And these sword suckers will be developing during the flowering stage of the plant. So when we are choosing the suckers should be 3 to 4 month old and it should be disease free. And the practice done before planting the sucker is that we will be choosing good sword suckers, and after choosing the sword suckers, by leaving 15 to 20 centimeter length from the comb, we will be cutting the pseudo stem, and also we will remove the old roots, and then the rhizomes will be smeared with cow dung solution and ash, and then we will dry it in sun for 3 to 4 days, and again it is stored in the shade for 15 days before planting. And this practice is termed as pairing and prolineage. So pairing and prolineage means we will be selecting suitable sword sucker for the growing, and we will be cutting. We will leave only 15 to 20 centimeter length of the pseudo stem, and we will remove the old roots from the rhizome, and also we will smear it with cow dung solution and ash, and first we will dry it in the sun. First for 3 to 4 days it will be dried in the sun, and again for 15 days it will be dried in the shade. So that is termed as pairing and prolineage. So the water suckers, I didn't explain the difference between sword and water sucker. This one is sword sucker and this is with the broad leaf, that is the water sucker. So here you can see the combs will be undersized and it will not be well developed, and it will have broad leaf from the beginning. And if we use this type of water suckers as planting material, it will be taking long to produce bunches, and also the bunches produced will be small in size. Then rhizomes or combs is also used as a planting material. So when the sucker availability is very less, whole rhizomes or split rhizomes are used for planting. And when we use the rhizomes or combs as planting material, we should see that it should be free from rhizome weevil and other diseases. The next method of propagation is micropropagation or tissue culture. So here we will be getting true to type early maturing plants, and the plants will be having uniform growth, and it is also possible to have 2 successive ratoons in short duration, and there will be no staggering in flowering, and the harvesting will be uniform. But the disadvantage is that it is costly, then sensitive to stress, and there are sometimes chances of soma clonal variation. So when coming to the planting, depending upon the local climate conditions, it can be planted throughout the year, but avoid planting during severe winter and summer or during heavy rainy days. So rainfed crop will be planted during April, May, and irrigated crop during August, September. So this planting time is based on the monsoon in the Kerala conditions. So it will vary depending upon the states, and hill banana is the optimum time of planting is April. And there are 4 systems of planting: garden land, wetland, perennial system of planting, and hill system of planting. So the spacing for dwarf varieties 1.8 by 1.8 meter, and it can accommodate 3000 plants per hectare, and sometimes 1.5 by 1.5 meter also it can accommodate this much number of plants. For tall varieties like robusta and nendran, the recommended spacing is 2 meter by 2 meter, and in a hectare 2500 plants can be accommodated. Then for varieties like Povan, Chenkadali and Palayan cotton, spacing recommended is 2.1 by 2.1 meter, which can accommodate in a hectare 2260 plants. So for the Mundan variety, the spacing is 3 meter by 3 meter, which can accommodate 1110 plants per hectare. Then for Virupakshi, 3.6 meter by 3.6 meter, 772 plants per hectare. For high density planting in robust and Cavendish, spacing recommended is 1.2 meter by 1.2 meter. We can accommodate 6,944 plants per hectare and the approximate yield will be 100 ton per hectare. And in the states like Maharashtra and Gujarat, double row spacing is followed, and in the system the row to row distance will be 2 meter and the plant to plant distance will be 1.2 meter by 1.2 meter. And in the case of nendran also, 2 suckers per peat are planted at 3 by 2 meter spacing. The National Research Center for Banana, Trichy, they recommend 3 suckers per peat at a spacing of 1.8 meter by 3.6 meter. 1.8 meter by 3.6 meter, and we can accommodate 4,600 plants per hectare. And by planting 3 suckers per peat. Then the pit size required is 45 to 60 centimeter cube, and the suckers will be placed in the center, and the 5 centimeter of the pseudostem will be left above the soil level. Then in the case of tissue culture plants, they will be planted at ground level immediately after planting. Light irrigation and also partial shade will be given. These are the different system of cultivation and the variety spacing and the number of plants accommodated. Here you can see the system of cultivation like garden land, wetland, perennial and hill system. Then land preparation, pit planting, you can see in which variety the spacing and how many number of plants can be grown. So depending upon the variety, dwarf Cavendish 1.5 meter by 1.5 meter and the number of plants can be seen here. And in the perennial, then hill banana system, we will follow condor birds. Spacing will be 3.6 meter by 3.6 meter and number of plants will be reduced to 772. Then tissue culture plants, pit planting in small plates. Then high density planting, also you can see this refer to you can refer to this table. In the case of manuring, at the time of planting, a compost will be applied at the rate of 10 kg per plant. And for in situ manuring, 15 kg cowpea seeds will be sown, or it can be at the rate of 25 kg per hectare. And after 40 days after sowing, it can be incorporated into the soil. Then the fertilizers should be applied in split doses and should be completed within 6 months commencing from the first month. And depending upon the growth, it should be given 30 to 75 centimeter away from the plant. Phosphate solubilizing bacteria, Superbacter 50 gram, and then vermicompost can be given 2 kg per pit. Then micronutrient spray at 5th and 7th month after planting. Zinc, iron, copper and boron can be given, which will be helping in the improving the size of and also the development of fruit. Then irrigation 1800 to 2000 millimeter annually, and it requires 40 to 50 liter of water per plant in 4 to 10 days. And if we use drip irrigation, it will be helping us to save the water about 50%, and we can also give fertilizer and irrigation together, that is fertigation. So we can save up to 40 to 70% of water and about 25% of the fertilizer. For one irrigation, the water required is 10 to 20 liter. In the beginning period, the water requirement will be more because the canopy of the or the leaf will not be developed properly, and the evapotranspiration rate will be more. Then after the development, the irrigation can be given once in 10 days. Then weeding, the presence of weeds will be reducing the yield up to 25%. In the initial stages, the field should be weed free, and if we sow the cowpea in the interspaces, it will be helping us to reduce the weed growth. Hand weeding can be given, 4 to 5 digging will be enough. And if we grow green manure crop, the weeding can be reduced to 2. And also mulching can be done. The organic mulches like banana trash and sugarcane trash can be used, but this also sometimes cause the spread of diseases. Then intercropping can be done up to 6 months, like vegetables like chili, soybean, radish, okra and beans can be done. In the nendran plantation, we can go for growing of vegetables like cucumber, amaranth, greater yam and elephant foot yam. Then bunch spray, that is 3% sulfate of potash once at the bunch emergence, 2 weeks after bunch emergence and another 4 weeks after bunch emergence. This is reported, this bunch spray of 3% sulfate of potash 2 weeks after bunch emergence and also 4 weeks after bunch emergence has been reported to increase the weight of the bunch. Then the micronutrient consortia developed by ICAR after 6 months is also proven to increase the yield of the banana. Then coming to the cultural practices, other cultural practices adopted in banana bunch feeding. We will be removing the stalk 15 centimeter and in 100 ml water, fresh cow dung 500 gram and 6 to 7 gram of sulfate of potash can be given as bunch feeding. This is also reported to increase the size of the bunch. Then desuckering. Desuckering means the suckers will be coming from the lateral buds of the rhizomes, and these suckers should be removed as and when they emerge, and only 1 or 2 suckers after the inflorescence emergence will be maintained for the ratoon crop. So all the suckers which will be emerging before the inflorescence emerges will be removed, and we can either cut them to the ground level, and earlier system the farmers used to pour 5 ml kerosene at the central core, and using crowbar we will be removing the core without damaging mature suckers. Then another cultural practice is propping. Propping means it is giving support to the pseudostem, especially in the case of tall variety or in dwarf varieties also when the wind velocity is high. And usually bamboo or casuarina poles are used, which have a lifespan of 3 to 4 years. Then earthing up. Earthing up is done to provide support to the base of the banana plant, which will be helping in better root system. The next is wrapping. Wrapping means we will be covering the banana bunches. It can be done either with polythene or gunny bag or even with the dried banana leaves. It will help in protecting the bunches from sunburn, hot wind or dirt. In the case of nendran and G9, the covering or wrapping using perforated polythene cover resulted in good development of color, and it increased the yield by 15 to 20%. Then another important cultural practice done in banana cultivation is denaveling. Denaveling means we will be removing the male bud, and this male flower bud is used as a vegetable in many of the states. And by doing this denaveling, we will be the photosynthase will not be transferred to the unwanted zinc, and by removing that it will increase in the fruit development process. The next cultural practice is matalking. Matalking means after the harvesting of the bunch, all the trunk or the pseudostem will be cut down and a small stump will be remaining. So this will help to support the other following suckers. So that is what is matalking. So after the harvesting of the banana, the old trunk will be cut down, and this a small remaining stump will be remaining on the root, which will support the other suckers. The next is trashing. Removing of unwanted plant parts like dry, disease and decayed leaves, that is termed as trashing. So bunch feeding, desuckering, that means we will be removing the suckers. Only 1 or 2 suckers after the emergence of the bunch will be kept. Propping means supporting the pseudostem. mainly the tall varieties. Then earthing up is done to support the base of the plant. Wrapping means covering the bunches with polythene or some suitable material so that the color development and the yield can also be increased. Denaveling means removal of the male bud. Then mattocking means after the harvest of the bunch, we will be cutting back the pseudostem so that the remaining nutrients from the pseudostem can be moved to the other developing short-suckers kept for the rattan crop. Then trashing means removing the unwanted plant parts. So that's about the some part of the production technology related to banana. So we have seen the left out group, that is AAB group, and in that we have seen the silk, that is Rastali, then nendran, which comes under the plantain group. So plantain bananas means it will be bananas which will be having more starch content than the sugar content compared to the desert bananas. And also we have seen the climatic requirements, irrigation, weeding, and the cultural practices followed in banana. So thank you.